Hello, my name is Ben Alexander, and I have autism. And I'm going to tell you a story about driving I had this week. My last video I talked about my phone and in my story about, that's right, I went to the Best Buy store instead of the Verizon store to trade in my phone. So I recycled it instead of traded in my phone. And now I'm going to have to pay extra money because it's no longer a trade-in. Because when you trade in a phone, the Verizon store wants it back. Which it should have been common sense to me, but the reason, and if you watch my video, the reason why I was confused is like, well, why did he have me leave the store, basically? I know he wanted me to delete the phone and delete all that stuff, and it would be faster Wi-Fi at home. Like, I get those reasons, but it's like, still, it's like, you want me to make another trip back to this Verizon store after I just got a phone? It's like, I really only want to go to one trip. Like, honestly, like, I was like, I'm not about ready to go back to the Verizon store. I was in there for a long time. It's like, I don't want to go back, you know. I felt that way, where it's like, I'd rather go to the Best Buy store and just recycle it and get rid of it that way. But, so you can watch that video. I'll definitely post it at the end screen. Hopefully it's there at the end screen. I'll make sure that it is in the end screen so you can watch it. But I became so singular focused on the data that I forgot, you know, and I don't remember if he said it or not about, you know, you got to return this phone. But I got so singularly focused on the data that transferring my data from my old phone to this new phone, the iPhone 17, that I just totally forgot about the details like that, where it's like I forgot that I should have traded in. Like, I didn't remember him saying that, so I missed those details. And it's going to be the same with my car situation. So on Monday night, I got pulled over by a police officer. It was at 1 a.m. in the morning. First off, it was crazy that the guy pulled me over at 1 a.m. in the morning. I know coming from my route, I see a lot of police officers. They're out in full force in Bellefontaine at like 1 in the morning. It's crazy, but I understand the reasoning behind it, obviously, because there's drunk drivers, you know, they're trying to stop crime. I 100% get that. So apparently, according to the cop, I was going 40 miles in a 25 zone. That's why I got pulled over. And then he also said that I didn't come to a complete stop, and I also wasn't behind the white line at the stoplight. So I'm like sitting there like, what? I didn't even realize I was doing any of those things. Like, I was on the autopilot, and I was singularly focused on getting home. I just, you know, it was 1 o'clock in the morning. I had a long day at work. And I'm just sitting there like, dude, I just want to go home. Like, what are you doing? Like, leave me alone, please. But that's kind of how I felt in the moment. But I also understand it's like, all right, you know. Since I got pulled over for it, it's like, all right, I'll be more careful about what I do on the road. So it's like, thank you for giving me a verbal warning where he could have given me a ticket. So yeah, it was kind of one of those things. I think I was in shock for like 5 seconds, and I was like, oh crap, I gotta find a safe place to pull over. So yeah, the cop was like following me, and I saw his bright lights. I was like, holy cow, I can't believe I'm actually getting pulled over by a cop at 1 o'clock in the morning. It's like, what happened? And then yeah, so he cited me for traffic citations. Well, you know what I mean, like, he didn't give me a ticket. He just gave me a verbal warning. So he basically gave me the verbal warning. He didn't write a ticket or anything. So I didn't have a physical ticket to be like, all right, this is what happened. But yeah, as I learned through my driving experiences, is that, yeah, sometimes you kind of got to be courteous of the road. You got to be very careful about the rules, because they'll pull you over. Even for the littlest things, I've kind of realized that too, where it's 1 o'clock in the morning. There's nobody out, so it's like easy to speed and go 40 in a 25 zone just because it's like there's nobody out here at all. It's like it's 1 o'clock in the morning. And honestly, I thought it was 35 going through downtown. But he told me it was 25. So I was like, all right, well, good to know for next time because I'm just flying. You know, I didn't realize what it was. Like, sometimes you just go and don't realize your speed. Like I said, I don't remember my speed, but he said I was going 40. But it's like, wow, I did not feel like I was going 40 miles an hour. I wasn't intending to do any of this stuff. But sometimes I just fail, I guess, in life. But again, I at least I got off with a verbal warning. I didn't get a ticket, and I wasn't in a wreck. So that's important. But that was my first time I've ever gotten pulled over by a cop, ever, in my entire life. So my accident in June, we ended up calling the police to come to the accident scene. The cop didn't pull me over with that accident. So this year's been nuts when it comes to driving. So I've been in an accident, and I got pulled over by a cop within 4 months. The last 4 months have been kind of wow. But there's also been great triumphs. Like, I've driven through Chicago. I've driven to Pittsburgh. Like, honestly, when it comes to my driving, I've gotten a lot better, a lot sharper. The fact that I feel comfortable flying and going fast. Like, when I'm going fast, I feel comfortable. You know what I mean? Like if I'm speeding, even though I don't recommend speeding, and I definitely need to get better at not speeding, but it is hard for me sometimes because it's like I just want to get to my destination as quickly as I possibly can. But also I understand where the cops coming from as they're looking out for the safety of me and myself and other people on the road. Even though it's 1 o'clock in the morning, it's like, who on earth's out at 1 o'clock in the morning? Like, sometimes you're shocked to find that there's more people working second shift probably, but there's more people out on the roads more than you think. Where I just sit here, it's like, wow, I'm shocked that there's people even on the roads at this time. You know what I mean? Because I mean, Bellefontaine, there's like nothing open except like a speedway and a couple gas stations. Like, there's absolutely nothing open at night. So it's like there's like hardly any cars. It's kind of ghost town. So, and then I didn't see that cop from anywhere. Like, the cop came out of nowhere, and I was shocked. Like, the whole thing was shocking to me, but it taught me a valuable lesson. So the last couple nights, I've been very curious on my speed. It's like, all right, Bellefontaine doesn't play around. There's so many cops everywhere. I'm not going to be able to get away with speeding. And it's a PSA to everybody that drives in Bellefontaine at night. The cops are out everywhere. Every corner, there's a cop. And sometimes they hide to try to disguise themselves. And that's kind of what happened here. Was I didn't see that cop anywhere in any vicinity. And then I got pulled over. I was like, oh, wow, what happened here? So, yeah. Luckily, again, thanks to the cop for being nice and giving me a verbal warning. But at the same time, and again, I apologize for the mistakes. And I am definitely watching everything. I'm making sure that I'm coming to complete stop. I'm behind the white line, even though it impedes my vision sometimes. And that's why I go past the white line to kind of go into that area where it's like I'm trying to see with clear vision so I don't get in a wreck. That's why I do what I do. And then, yeah, come in a complete stop. And I'll definitely make sure that downtown Bellefontaine, it's a 25 mile an hour speed zone. So I'll make sure that I keep it within a good speed. So, yeah. That's all I really have to say for this video. And let me know if you've had any, I'm sure a lot of you have probably related to this video of getting pulled over by a cop. I'm sure all of us some way or some form have probably got pulled over by a cop. You know, the longer you drive, there's always going to be situations where you're going to get pulled over by a cop. And I'm sure this isn't the last time that this is going to happen. I'm sure of it. I'm sure I'm going to get pulled over somehow. You know, but it is what it is, and yeah, so I'm gonna look to improve my driving skills a little bit better. Didn't realize I still had blind spots. It's just one of those things. You're on autopilot. You're just secretly focused on getting home from work. That you just forget the rules of the road sometimes because it's 1 o'clock in the morning, and it's like you don't think there's anybody out there watching you. It's like there's nobody out there to really hurt me. So, but yeah, even 1 o'clock in the morning, they still expect you to drive by the rules, and they still expect you to follow speed limits, and they still expect you to follow all traffic laws. So that's kind of a thing that I learned. So yeah, it's just one of those lessons. Luckily, it was a verbal warning. And yeah, I got to make sure that for next time to tidy it up. And normally I'm good during the days because there's a lot of traffic, so it's easier to actually follow the speed limit and actually follow traffic rules. But I think for me, it's hard at night when there's nobody there because my natural tendencies just want to fly and take shortcuts. That's just my natural tendencies, but obviously that's gotten me to get pulled over and eventually could cost me a ticket and a fine and be like, yeah, I'm gonna stop right there. I'm gonna change my behavior so next time that doesn't happen. So yeah, let me know if you had any experiences. Let me know what stories you have of getting pulled over by the police. Definitely let me know in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.